Welcome to English Podcasts. Relax and enjoy your listening practice.
There's this strange little moment that probably happens to all of us, although we rarely talk about it seriously. You're standing in a supermarket, or maybe scrolling through apartment listings, or even thinking about whether to send an important message to someone, and suddenly you realize you desperately need to pee. And in that exact moment, instead of becoming more emotional or impulsive, you actually become more patient, more careful, more resistant to temptation. Well, I recently came across research about this, and honestly, I couldn't stop thinking about it because it sounds funny at first, but the psychology behind it is surprisingly deep. Scientists have been studying something called inhibitory control, which is basically the brain's ability to stop itself from acting immediately on impulses. It's the mental system that helps us delay gratification, avoid emotional decisions, and think long-term instead of short-term. And what researchers found is that when people are physically holding their bladder, that same control system becomes more active. In simple terms, when your body is trying very hard not to let go physically, your brain also becomes slightly better at resisting other impulses emotionally and mentally. So people who urgently needed to use the bathroom often made more cautious decisions. They were more willing to wait for a larger reward later, instead of choosing a smaller reward immediately. And, it sounds almost ridiculous, but when you really think about modern life, it actually makes sense. We live in a world that constantly pushes instant reactions, immediate purchases, immediate opinions, immediate replies, immediate outrage. Everything is designed to remove waiting from our lives. Food arrives in minutes. Messages arrive instantly. Algorithms predict what we want before we even finish thinking about it. And somewhere in all of this, many people have quietly lost the ability to sit with discomfort for even a short time. I mean, even emotionally, we do this. We rush into relationships because loneliness feels uncomfortable. We quit projects because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. We make expensive decisions because stress feels uncomfortable. We try to eliminate every small, unpleasant feeling immediately, instead of asking whether that feeling actually needs an instant solution. And that's what stayed with me after reading about this research. The real insight is probably not about needing to pee. It's about the connection between physical discomfort and emotional discipline. Sometimes when we stop reacting instantly to every urge, whether physical, emotional, or financial, we create a small space where clearer thinking becomes possible. Of course, nobody is saying you should schedule major life decisions around your bathroom habits. But I do think there's something quietly important in this idea. Maybe wisdom is not always about having more information. Maybe sometimes it's simply about slowing down long enough to not react automatically. And honestly, in a world that rewards speed all the time, that kind of self-control feels almost radical now.